So yesterday we had our post-op appointment, and I told you guys in my story I would update you. The reason I'm being so transparent with all this is just because I feel called to share. We've been trying to conceive for about 8 years, and the majority of that time we suffered in silence and nobody knew what we were going through. And I ended up sharing our story about 6 months ago, and because of that, we were able to do this program, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without all of your guys' love and support and contribution. So thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. We have officially finished the program. And for those of you just tuning in, it's not like an IVF situation. Instead, it's a natural fertility healing program. But yesterday, she basically took all the data that she collected on us for the last 6 months and told us what it means and what we need to do moving forward to be completely healed and address all of our fertility issues. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys right now. So it took about an hour and a half for her to relay all the information to us. So I'm not going to be able to repeat in the same detail what I learned yesterday. So I'm just going to give you guys the highlights. But just know that if you have any questions, I don't mind answering. I'm extremely grateful for this program, and I really do want to be there for anyone struggling in a similar situation. So shoot me a message if you have any questions. So during the appointment, she actually showed us footage of my surgery, which was such a trip. We weren't highly suspicious that I had endometriosis, and I almost didn't even opt in for the surgery in the first place to find out, but I'm so glad I did because I had a ton. She told me I had stage 3, borderline stage 4 endometriosis, 4 being the worst. And she almost broke my surgery up into 2 parts because there was so much. I ended up being in surgery for, I think, like 7 hours, lasering it all out. So that's gone, which is great. But she also found a polyp, which she removed. She found some extra, whatever they're called, fimbriae on my fallopian tubes, which she removed. And she found some cysts, which she couldn't remove because they were too close to an artery or something. And then she also found adenomyosis, which to my understanding is like a cousin of endometriosis, but it grows into the muscle lining of the uterus. So it's a lot deeper. And she wasn't able to remove most of that because it was right next to a major artery. So we kind of just have to keep an eye on that and keep that at bay through some medicine and some lifestyle changes, which is part of my treatment plan. She also performed our planned ovarian wedge resection, which is where they take a piece off of both the ovaries, essentially to shrink them to a normal size. And this will improve some hormone imbalances that we found in my labs. And then lastly, she found something called endometritis, which is an inflammation of the uterine lining caused by bacteria, which I'm going to be treating through a pretty aggressive round of antibiotics. So wish me luck. I hate antibiotics, but that's the main things from surgery. And then the previous 6 months, I did a lot of lab work. I did a Dutch test series, an ultrasound series. We did a heavy metal detox. And she took all that information and painted us a picture of what it all meant. And neither Cameron nor I have ever seen or met a doctor who took the time quite like she did to explain things so thoroughly, let alone her level of expertise. It's just incredible. I am forever grateful for her. So just to summarize everything that she related, everything related to nutrition and lifestyle was pretty much normal or optimal, which I'm pumped on because that's kind of proof I practice what I preach. But the main red flags with the labs and the Dutch test were some issues with cortisol and my adrenals. So we plan to work with her on some of my thought life, my stress management, some lifestyle changes, some diet changes, some herbal medicines, stuff like that to get my cortisol and adrenals optimal. And then the other red flag was with my progesterone and estrogen basically not being at the levels they need to be when they need to be there. So we're going to be addressing that through some medication for now as well. So that's me. It's been a really long 6 months. And as far as Cameron's side's concerned, he did the heavy metal detox with me, and that ended up being tremendous for him. He feels so much better. I think that played a huge role in his quality of life. And then obviously the only other test he did was on his soldiers. So the results from that were phenomenal. Our doctor actually said that she couldn't make it any better than it was. So he's really proud of that. And so am I. So to wrap this up, I'm going to be continuing to work with her for the next 3 months at least to address everything, I just mentioned, everything she found. But now that the heavy metal detox is over, the ovarian wedge resection's done, the endometriosis is gone. We've already done a lot of treatment. So my fertility's already massively improved. So a baby can happen anytime. So all in God's will. Thank you guys for watching.